The 23rd of July, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua with Rashi. Uh, Shake this off.
Hello, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Rabbi.
Let's go.
Which one is it?
By the way, we go through the Parsha this week. This is the super double header. It's 244 psukim altogether.
Wow.
So make sure you have a cup of coffee before Kresitor. If you're awake. Okay. Up to Pasuk Zayin. Yeah. I think you were in the middle. Did you finish Zayin? Yeah, no, we finished Zayin. Okay, let's do Pasuk Ches. Lou.
V'shama isha b'yom.
Very loud.
I'm sorry.
I said you're very loud.
I'm very loud.
Yeah.
I'm too loud.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. How can I turn that down? I'm not sure. I'll just try talking more quietly. Sham-o v'hecherish la v'kamu nidareha ve'esareha asher asra al nafsha yakumu. And her husband heard her on the day of his hearing, and he was silent about her. Then her vows shall stand, and her prohibition that she prohibited upon herself shall stand. V'shama isha v'gomer. Hare lecha. Here you see. She'im ki yem habal. That if her husband upheld her vow, shehu kayam, that it is upheld no matter what the father does.
Right.
Oh.
That's what we see also. One of the sides, either the father or the husband. But we're talking about a situation where we need both of them to nullify the vow. So if one upholds the vow, and the other one wants to nullify it, it doesn't help. Once one of the either the father or the husband has validated the vow, it's too bad. Yes. Right. Okay. Let's go on to Pasuk Tes.
Okay. What's this? Okay, so Tess says, the biyom shimoa isha yani ota behefer et nidra asher aleha v'et mivta shvateha asher asra al nafsha v'Hashem yislach la. Okay, so and if on that day that her husband heard, he shall, I guess, hold back.
On the day that the husband hears it,
Okay. Okay.
it.
He restrains her. Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't. I didn't strain it. That's why I don't like using that term. If on the day of her husband's hearing it, he withholds her.
Oh, withholds her. Okay. And he should nullify her vow.
And he nullifies it.
Yeah, nullifies it. That is on her. And he shall nullify her vow. That is on her.
But no, it doesn't say he shall. If on the day the husband hears of it, he withholds her from it. Okay? By nullifying the vow, her vow. It says that we are translated. On the day her husband's hearing it, he withholds her and annuls the vow that is upon her. Or the utterance of her lips by which she imposed a restriction upon herself. Okay?
Oh, I see. Okay. And their lips. Okay.
That's all part of the story. Then the result will be Hashem Yislach La.
Hashem will say, will forgive her.
Meaning that the neder is now annulled, and Hashem will forgive her if she transgresses the vow, because the vow is not really valid. There is no vow. She thinks there is one, and this is what Rashi mentioned before, that she still needs to be forgiven by Hashem because she had an intention to do an Avera, even though it ended up not being an Avera.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Rashi, V'hefer et nidra. Okay, and he will nullify her vow. Yachol, you might be able to think, afilu lo hefer ha'av, that even if the father didn't nullify it, let's see, Talmud Lomar, the Torah says, B'neureha beit aviha, what in her youth, in the house of her father, kol she b'neureha, or as long as I guess she's in her youth, Bereshut avihahi, she's under the authority of her father.
Yeah.
But why does it say in her father's house? Doesn't that imply that if she's not in her father's house?
So Rashi, when you look in Pasuk Dalet, Rashi said, Beveis Havia does not mean in her father's house, but means Bereshus Havia, when she's under the, and Lamaisa, as long as she's still betrothed and she's not fully married, she's living with her parents. She's living in her father's house.
So why does it say Binareha Base.
That's actually the at very end, but just before Sheni, Pasuk 17, bin Urea Beis Avia. So basically, what the Pasuk is telling you that as long as she's still bin Urea and she's not fully married to a man, she's still the Beis Avia. She's under her father's jurisdiction. So Beis Avia doesn't mean the house, the physical house. It means under his authority.
Wow.
Yeah? Am I with you? Hello?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you.
Okay. Very good. Let's go on. Lou, Pasuk Yud, Pasuk 10.
V'neder al mana ugerusha kol asher asra al nafsha yakum aleha. The vow of a widow or a divorcee, anything she has prohibited upon herself shall be upheld upon her. Rashi says, Kol asher asra al nafsha yakum aleha, lefi she'ena lo bereshus ha'av, because she is neither under the authority of the father, velo bereshus habal, nor of the husband.
Okay.
Uva'almana min hanisuyin hakatsuv midaber. The verse speaks of a widow from Nisuin.
She's been fully married previously.
Aval almana min ha'erusin, but in the case of a widow from Erusin, in other words, she was widowed once she was betrothed. Right. Habal, if the husband dies, nis rok na reshus la'av, authority to nullify has been emptied out from the husband to the father. So in other words, it goes back to the father.
Now, by the way, how do you have it written? Or do you have just Nisroikna Lushusav? Do you have the word v'chazra?
No, I have nisrokna reshus la'av.
The Reshusaav. Nisroikna Reshus la'av. Okay, I have the reading Nisroikna v'chazra Lushusav.
And what does that mean?
That means she is now, his means, Nisroikna means the husband's jurisdiction has been emptied out. That's Nisroikna. And now, so she automatically goes back,
She goes back to the father.
She goes back to the jurisdiction of the father. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, this is an interesting point. That means when she's betrothed, right, and she's a Nara, obviously, she's still in that stage, so her father has a certain level of authority over her, and her husband has a certain level of authority over her. And therefore, when she is both a Nara and she's betrothed, both the husband and the father, both of them have to nullify the vow for the vow to be nullified.
Right.
But once the husband dies or divorces her, then she's automatically, if she's still a Nara, she goes back to the jurisdiction of the father, and then the father can nullify her vows alone. Okay?
Yeah.
let's go on to Pasuk Yud Aleph.
Okay.
By the way, according to the way Rashi learns, it's a bit strange that the Torah mentions the neder of a widow or a divorcee, right? And then it tells you what the din is when she is actually fully married. The order should have really been the other way around. I don't know if the Chazal dwell on it or not. Okay, let's do the Pasuk Yud Aleph, the bear.
Okay. Ve'imbed isha nedara o asra isar al nafsha bishvu'ah. Okay, but if she vowed in her husband's house, or she prohibition upon herself through an oath. Okay, Rashi. Being Beit Isha Nidara. She bathed in her husband's house. B'nisu'ah hakatuv midaber. The verse speaks of nisu'ah.
Yeah. Actually, I see the Sifsei Chachamim dwells on my question I just asked you. And he says, he quotes it B'Shem the Gur Aryeh, that when the Pasuk says in Pasuk 10, Pasuk Yud, the Nadav and Almona Busha, similarly applies also to any unmarried lady, unmarried woman, but she's past the stage of marriage. She's now fully mature, so therefore she's on her own. She's her own boss. It's the same thing. Kol Hashem Osra Nafsha. So if she's not married and she's over the age of 12 and a half, that she's now her own, she's mature, that she's her own boss, then the same rule applies. Kol Hashem Osra Nafsha Yokumala. Okay, but this, Vimbeis Isha Nodara, but if she vows when she's in her husband's house, so Rashi says, now there's two indications for that, because first of all, the Pasuk tells us that only the husband has control over her vows, but not the father at all, as opposed to the previous Pasuk. What was it? In Pasuk 7, where we learn out that both the father and the husband in tandem will nullify the vow, can nullify the vow. But over here, we're talking about, it only says only the husband. Okay, and this is referring to Benesua, that she's fully married. That's number one. And also it says, in base Isha Nadar, if she makes a vow in the house of her husband. Now, obviously, that implies that she's living with him in the same house. And because that's what it means. Based doesn't mean necessarily in the actual physical house, but it means when she's fully under his jurisdiction. As we had before, Beis Avia means under the jurisdiction of the father. It means Beis Isha means she's in the house of her husband, that she's fully under his jurisdiction. Okay, let's go on to Pasuk Yud Beis. Lou.
Shama Isha Vet Hab Chabrish La Lo Heini Osa Vikamu Kol Nidareha V'chol Isar Asher Asra Al Nafsha Yakum. So if it and her husband heard about it and was silent concerning her, he did not restrain her, or withhold her, he did not withhold her, then all her vows shall stand, and any prohibition she prohibited upon herself shall stand. There's no Rashi on 12. 13, im hafer yafer osa isha biyom
Osam.
osam isha biyom shamo kol motza sifaseha lina dareha ula isar nafsha lo yakum isha hafera
Feiron.
haferam vahashem yislach la. Okay, so that was 13. But if her husband shall nullify them on the day of his hearing, anything that came out of her mouth regarding her oaths or the prohibition upon herself shall not stand. Her husband had nullified them, and Hashem will forgive her. There's no Rashi on 13. Kol neder v'chol shevuas isar le'anos nafesh isha yeki menu ve'isha yeferetnu. Any vow and any oath prohibition to cause personal affliction, her husband may uphold it and her husband may nullify it. The Rashi says, Kol neder v'chol shavuas isar v'gomer. Lefi shamar, since that it said,
The possible is the Torah said,
Shehabal Mayfair, that her husband nullifies Yachol, one might be able to think, Kol nidarim b'mashma, that all vows are implied. Talmud Lomar, the Torah therefore teaches us le'anos nafesh, to cause personal affliction. Eino mayfair ella nidre in ui
Inui nefesh.
bilvad. But he does not nullify anything but vows of personal affliction only. Behem miforashim b'masaches
Meseches nedorim.
b'maseches nedarim. They are explained in tractate Nedarim.
Right. So basically means if she deprives herself of any food or any kind of drink or any kind of personal benefit, physical benefit, right? That's called anois nafesh. That's to afflict herself. Okay? As I mentioned this before, she made a neder not to eat chocolate. Okay?
Right.
But Marshall, if she makes a neder, I'll give an example. She's not going to go to. She's not going to go to Tel Aviv. So there's nothing physical deprivation involved in that. And also, we're going to see it's not necessarily anything between her and her husband. It's not if they're living in Yerushalayim, so there's no problem. So, such a case, if she made it, then the husband hasn't got a right to nullify it. It has to be dafka something which she deprives her, let's say. She makes a neder, I'm not going to eat chocolate. Or she says, I'm not going to, whatever, any food. Or I'm not going to put on makeup. So there, it's not really personal benefit, but that is between her and her husband. She's not going to look nice for her husband. And by the way, that second thing about being being ish ishtoi, that's what I mentioned later on. Rashi doesn't mention it over there, but we learn out from Pasuk 17. Okay, so things which are between a man and his wife, meaning that she going to make a neder that she will not look as beautiful as the husband would like her to look. Okay, that's also something which the husband's allowed to nullify. She makes an oath that she's not going to put on any makeup. Okay, then the husband can nullify that as well. Okay, I think we'll hold it here for today. Bez Hashem, we got up to Pasuk 15.
15. Okay.
Right.
Very good.
Have a good day.
Be well. Have a good day. Take care, Lou.
Okay, you too, Mayor.
Thank you.